Dear friends, we are so happy to welcome you to the international discussion in the season dedicated to the recent historical event that changed the world because people stopped being silent. The voice of humanity spread all over the world. On 7th of May, the International Forum Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live, took place. It was streamed on thousands of platforms and simultaneously interpreted into 100 languages. Why is this event so important? Because we are already in the middle of our last war of humanity, indeed. But many of us do not even realize it. That's why participants of Creative Society project do everything possible and impossible to mobilize humanity and unite in order to survive.
Yeah, the forum brought an unbelievable amount of information on the current very urgent situation on our planet and in our society. We heard the eyewitnesses of climate disasters who have not been rescued and did not get any help during or after the disasters. We heard scientists who are being dedicated and discredited by collaborationists who earn on false theories. These collaborationists do not let public know the true cause of climate change and the disasters that can soon wipe us off the face of Earth. We heard the reports of civilists about the cruelties of war. We also saw the reports of the refugees and victims of human trafficking, whose life is not being valued in the same way as yours. When you hear all of this, do you think such a society has a future?
Yes, and now we are indeed on the verge of the apocalypse that we created by our inaction and ignorance. If we let everything just go as it is, if we do not build the creative society, we will sentence ourselves just to death. Either one or another psychopath will press the red button, or the climate will erase us as parasites. But we have the chance to change the very format of our society and make the world without wars, crisis, and loss of human lives being lost in the climate disasters. We need to reach out to everyone, our loved ones, and all people around us with this information. Everyone must know it. It is our responsibility. Because the most important thing we all have, it is life, yours and of all people on earth.
And with us here today, there are people who made their choice not to be indifferent to what is going on and express their voice. These people are true heroes who understood that being silent is no longer an option. They understood that we can no longer rely on those we look up to and wait until they fix everything on our behalf. But we need to take on responsibility and start acting. Our dear guests decided to contribute to building the creative society as the only way out of the current crisis. We would like to introduce our respective guests. So first, it's Asta Jakubson, informational partner of the Global Forum, Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live. Asta is a multiple award-winning fashion designer and international success relationship mentor and energy healer. Welcome, Asta.
Thank you for having me.
We also have Salah Kotb from Egypt. He's also informational partner of the forum, Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live. Salah is a surgeon, a doctor. He's a novelist, development expert, entrepreneur, writer, and as we shortly also learned, a pianist. Welcome, Salah.
Hello, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Hi.
Thank you for coming. And we also have Stefan Wandu Bimo from Uganda. Stefan is also informational partner of the Global Forum, Global Crisis Where People We Want to Live. And he's an executive director of the CAN company helping refugees from South Sudan. Welcome, Stefan. So before we start,
so much and glad to be with you today.
Welcome,
thank you very
Stephen.
much. Thank you very much. Before we start, let us watch a fragment of the forum on the most urgent topic, the atrocity of the consumerist format, the organ trafficking, and the simple solution that can save millions of human lives.
Millions of people around the world die waiting for their turn to get an organ transplant. In China alone, 1.5 million people are on the waiting list. In the US, about 17 people a day die waiting for a donor. And to get a new kidney, a much in demand organ, one has to wait from 3 to 5 years. In India, only 3% of those in need receive it. Tell me, what will you do if you or your loved ones need an organ transplant? Are you sure you'll live long enough to get your turn? Here are the barbaric methods that are used to solve this problem in today's consumer society. Every hour, a kidney is being sold on the black market. Children are dismantled for spare parts like a construction set in order to earn up to 1 million euros on organs. Are you unworried today when your child is outside? Teenage girls are forced to bear children on human farms in order to sell them. There are kidney villages all over the world where each resident has already sold 1 kidney. Parents are forced to sell some of their children in order to feed the others. Organ theft can occur even during a surgery, and the person does not suspect that he woke up without a healthy organ. This is despite the fact that there is already an effective solution that can save lives of these people. Today, the technology of 3D printing of organs is rapidly developing. The following organs are successfully transplanted: bladder, cartilage tissue, printed cornea, pancreas, blood vessels. In a development stage, kidneys, skin, heart, liver, lungs, stomach. A 3D bioprinter has already become part of the scientific equipment on the ISS. What was once a plot for a science fiction novel is now advancing our scientific research, says Taylor Crouch, Organovo Holdings Incorporated. 3D bioprinting will save millions of lives through timely transplantation, will reduce mortality from chronic and age-related diseases, will end clinical trials of drugs on humans, including children. The black market of human organs and the sale of people for organs will disappear forever as a monstrous phenomenon of the consumerist format of society. These technologies will literally not only save, but also protect the lives of millions of people. The advantages of this technology: printed organs are cheaper than donor organs. They are printed from the patient's own cells and are not rejected by the immune system. A printed bladder was successfully transplanted over 20 years ago. But has this technology come to your hospital? Is it available to everyone in need in your city? In the consumerist format of society, there's always something more important than our lives. There is no way to solve this problem in a consumer society because organ transplantation is a profitable multi-billion-dollar business, a business built on the health and lives of people. In the consumer society, it is much more profitable that you suffer and die. The most monstrous thing is that we have agreed with this. Today, Everyone needs to make a decision in which society he wants to live. What kind of society will our children live in? In a society where, instead of saving your life, you'll be a number on a waiting list for those sentenced to death, hoping for your salvation at the cost of the health or life of another person. In a society where you will be dismantled for parts for someone else's benefit. Or you will build the creative society where advanced technologies ensure the protection of your life and the lives of your children. The society where there will be nothing more valuable than human life, your life. The choice is yours.
Yeah, this is shocking. It's been a week since the forum took place, but the understandings are still so alive because it hit a nerve, because people voiced the burning questions that are of everyone concerned. And months of work of people from all over the world, unbelievable research, all over 11 hours of information that was presented that no one could find alone. This all got available for everyone. And this is up to us, how quickly now all people will learn about it and what we do with this information further. So friends, I would like to ask you, what are your understandings after watching the forum? So maybe Salah, you would like to share what topics and information touched you personally the most?
Our world faced many disasters, huge cases. One of the most important is the human life. Nothing more valuable than our life. So we have to make people to be aware about the organ transplant, how it will be very important in others' life. So it's the awareness battle. We have to aware people about this. We have to aware people about how could you save another person? How could you save another family? How could you save the society? So it's the awareness battle. We have to aware people like this conferences, like videos that you are doing about this topic.
Salah, thank you very much. We know that it would be easier for you to speak in your mother tongue. So if you would like to share more in Arabic, then you're very welcome because our team is ready to translate.
Okay.
We are speaking now about the idea about transplanting, how it's very important that it helps in saving lives. This is nothing more than the lives of humanity, the lives of humans. The life of humans is very much important. We should raise awareness to understand the concept of transplanting or donation of organs. There are long waiting lists.
Thank you very much. Your feedback as surgeon doctor, we don't have to sacrifice human lives. We don't have to put so much efforts just to fight the consequence of our greed and consumerist format, but we can really change the format where the science will serve people, that science will improve our lives, because this is already available, but not everyone knows that we can only implement these technologies when demand of people, of us who want to live, will come first and say, friends, we are people. We need this technology, and there is nothing that can be, above human life. So thank you very much, Salah. Dear Asta, dear Stephen, would you like to share your insights and the topics that were for you most important and that touched you the most?
Yes, thank you so much for having me, and it was really so shocking watching the video that has just been played. We have had more of these donation of organs around the world, and to me, it's a surprise to me that there's existing science that is there that can be an alternative to this. Because if people's life are put at market, and yet there's existing technology that can be used instead of killing people or else removing their organs, then I don't know why the world has not made it available. To most South Sudanese among whom I come, it's even lack of the medical services, lack of drugs. You find that people die of smaller diseases that they are not supposed to die of. The health centers have no medicine. The health centers have no doctors. The doctors stay months, 6 months without pay, and they only sacrifice to be in the hospitals. So around the world, we have not seen an equitable sharing of technology and science experience that can save lives. The lives of many are at risk, and people are dying of smaller diseases. So it is really a call that if there are science that can be an alternative to organ donations, this should be available to everyone, because all humans have right to life. And to us, to me, being part of creative society has really been something I would like to stand and advocate for, because a world where human life is valued and where human life is the first is the world that I would like to live in, and I would like to live for the generation to come. And it is time that we remove the fear, we remove what the obstacle, and stand as people to come up and support a world where human life is dignified and is valued. So I'm grateful for this. And in reference to today's conference of 7th May, it was really a great event, and it changed my perception. It re-energized my belief in the creative society, because all what was discussed are really realities of the world we live in today. And these realities need to be made to the world so that the world can wake up. We need to wake up so that we can be able to create this world of creative society where we can live as people that are valued regardless of the race, regardless of religion, regardless of nationality, regardless of who we are, because we are human beings and humanity surpasses all. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Stefan. It was very touching what you just expressed, that in many countries, unfortunately, people suffer because human health became subject of making business, you know. And if it's not profitable, it's not of interest. And this is where creative society can help a lot, because in creative society, every single human on earth has got the right for free medicine, for free medical treatment, wherever he is on earth. So thank you very much for a very valuable input. And also, Asta, can you please share with us what touched you the most while watching the conference? Thank you.
Thank you so much. for really, as Stefan was just saying, to keep talking and waking up everybody and showing all what's happening, because mostly we living in the nice or not nice, but we kind of not seeing how deep is this. We seeing just outside lovely, beautiful, polished look, as the same as media showing and everything. But actually, as the energy healer, for me, it's so much important. When is this illness starting? When is this happening? You know, every illness happening and beginning somewhere. So that's mean not right, healthy living and, you know, stress and all that kind of stuff. What actually, it's another money making. It's nearly like somebody specially poisoning us to make us not healthy. And then we will make you better by giving the pill or something else. So I would like to reverse it and say, why do we go to the point where we need so big surgery? You know, and that's what is kind of really, it's great what you're showing, but actually it was really scary because for me to see blood, I'm not good on this, but really need to show what if we not will be starting living healthier and really trying to think what we doing, what we eating, where it's coming from, you know, everything. We could need that. But imagine if we all will be so wonderfully healthy, nobody will make any money from, you know, medicines and all this, and they not would be need so much black market if we would not need it. So as an energy healer, I'm so much screaming every day, let's try to become healthier ourselves, because nobody else care about us, only ourselves. And if we will make ourselves and our family, and maybe we'll be a little bit light, and maybe we don't need to go to the doctors. And, you know, many different healings could be, not only the pill, not only, you know, energy healing, or not only, maybe something is there as you showing technologies. Wow, amazing. I never know about that as well. So it's amazing. And thank you so much what you're talking about it. But let's look what we're doing and we can do for ourselves first. And maybe we would never need that. But in the end, I love this idea. And many people already having donut, you know, the cards, but when they passing, and if you're looking after yourself, your kind of say, like organs could be amazingly helpful for other person when we go.
Yeah, thank you very much. You are absolutely right that we need to treat this disease that we call the consumerist format, the format where we do not care about human life, where the business put first. So we need really to treat this disease at the roots. But what is also the other reality that we face, because you touched upon also the topic of food and, eating and so on healthy. Well, how is it possible to be healthy on ill planet? So we touched also this topic in the forum, that we have a catastrophic situation with our ecology, with our environment, that everything is poisoned. And it's just a wonder how we still manage to be alive. Because, for example, we here in the recent months, also there is, a lot of attention put or raised to the food supply crisis, especially due to the current situation and the war in Ukraine. So there is a lot of predictions and estimations of how rapidly the hunger and poverty will increase in Europe, in Africa, in Near East very soon alone, just because of broken logistics and shortages of seedings. So that will only just make the already horrible situation with hunger and lack of water even worse. We're already losing millions of lives, right? So, and we know that it will cost more of them. So, but why is no one talking about solutions? Why no one seems to be interested just to solve this problem and not to fight against it, the entire life? So let us watch one more video of fragment from the forum on this topic.
Every night, 811 million people go to bed hungry, and already 38 countries are on the brink of starvation. We live in times of instability, pandemics, economic crises, climate disasters, military conflicts. They put millions more people on the brink of starvation. Are you sure you won't be among them? In the consumerist format, no one is secure against starvation these days. But it is such an absurdity. Why? Let's take a look at the technology that already exists. One of them is vertical farms. They have great advantages compared to conventional farms. They produce 300 times more food and up to 30 yields a year. They consume 95% less water and 80% less soil. They make it possible to grow various crops all year round without using pesticides. They don't depend on weather or location and require minimal logistics costs. Harvesting is possible even in Antarctica. Aquaponics. It allows simultaneous breeding of fish and cultivation of vegetables in a single closed cycle. Fish waste fertilizes plants, speeding up their growth by 40%. It is environmentally friendly and can operate in a virtually waste-free way without polluting water bodies. It doesn't involve pesticides and consumes 10 times less water. Yields from 1,000 square meters of land by this method equal to yields from 2 hectares of fields and 20 hectares of ponds. It can be applied in the tropics or an arid desert, and even on the roof of a skyscraper. Humanity has already learned to print food on a 3D printer and to grow fish and chicken meat from cells. Even food made of air is no longer science fiction. A Finnish company is building a factory to produce flour from air and has won the first stage in a competition to provide food for space missions to other planets. We have shown only a few examples of technology, but even they can already resolve the problem of hunger once and for all. Development and introduction of such technologies in the infrastructure of cities will provide people with food everywhere, regardless of crises and disasters. It will make the process of growing food products independent of climate, weather, location, soil fertility, or even logistics. In consumer society, hunger is a prospect for everyone. In the creative society, not a single person in any country of the world will go to bed hungry. It will be up to us, people, to jointly decide which scientific discoveries to implement first, while openness and transparency of information in the creative society will make it possible to ensure reliable control over implementation of our decisions. We really want to live in the creative society. And what about you?
Yes. We are being manipulated and brainwashed in all spheres of our lives. We fight against each other. The water and food supply crises are just going to be worse, as a result of which more people will fall below the poverty line. But as we see, the hunger and similar problems turns out to be just a matter of our will, of the will of us people. Because everything can be solved in a very short amount of time. Someone says it's unprofitable, but at this moment I would like to ask, for whom is it unprofitable? Is it unprofitable for those ones who let us die and earn on it? Or is it, for whom is it unprofitable? These technologies can become our reality when we unite. And when we complete the first stage of implementation of creative society, that is, if 50% of population in each country will start talking about it, will agree to it, and elect someone or a subject who takes on responsibility and implements the 8 foundations of the creative society into the constitution of the country. And this is the way to make sure that human life will be guaranteed and the technologies will work for everyone. At this moment, maybe I would like to ask Asta, just to continue our discussion. What are your thoughts or inputs? What are your let's say suggestions when you know that we have got such a technologies? So what do we need to do in order to, let's say, bring this information to people? Because we know that people can only make decisions if they are informed. What would you suggest?
Yes, that's amazing. When you were showing all these greenhouses, and that's exactly what I have in my place. In the little yard, I don't have nearly green grass, what you have to just cut. I put on my greenhouse, I put my vegetables. I want to use every little bit. And I'm living in the city. I want to use every little bit. And before I lived in an apartment, I still had my little greenhouse. You know, we can do it. We can do it then if we want to. And if everybody, I know you not will keep your family very, 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 full, but still it shows for kids what it's okay to grow your little vegetable and how it's tasty when you're doing it yourself. And I'm so happy what I am with you and talking in here with you, because actually as the success mentor and the life coach, I know what our brain works a little bit different, like a little bit harder than we would love to. It's actually to get you to remember and really to understand how is this important. Person have to hear it at least 7 times. So we need to keep talking about it. We don't really supposed to say, well, I told you last month, why you don't remember? No, don't ever stop talking about it, because maybe that 7th time will be like, wait a minute, they talking about here something. Maybe I should listen. And that's what is happening. We're hearing so much information and so much true and so much not true. We sometimes ignoring so much important things like now, so I would just saying, let's not give up. Let's not shut up and really waking up ourselves, our surrounding, our society, and let's hope 7th or 10th time they will hear us and wake up.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, and that is why basically the volunteers all around the world are trying to keep this wave of good vibes that came after watching the conference, the recent conference, because only, as you very correctly said, only when you talk about it, keep talking about it, only in that case the people start noticing it and start putting their attention to it. And only in this way we can basically get to their hearts, as it is said. I would also like to ask Stefan, as we've seen, the vertical hydroponic farms could bring an evolutionary leap to the living standard and resolve the hunger issues, especially in Africa. So I would like to ask you, do the people in your surrounding, do they understand that right now it really depends on every single of us to make this change and make it happen, and not rely on anyone to do this?
Thank you so much. Just the recent conference that was on 7th, I was glad that it highlighted the World Food Program statistic on the people, number of people who are getting hungry, and I'd like to bring to it that this is a reality in the world and the area where we are living. The refugees have really undergone famine, I can say, during the COVID-19 time, because food ratio that the refugees receive monthly was reduced to almost 60%. Refugees were receiving less food that they could not really rely on to survive on. For example, one person will receive 7 kg of corn for a full month, to run for a full month. Something like 0.8 liter of cooking oil to run for a full month. Something like 7 kg of beans to run for a full month. And for a family size of maybe 2-3, this food could not sustain the family for long. In a community where we are, the host community have not approved of land, extra land for refugees, where they can cultivate, they can farm and do other things. So refugees live on a certified by certified land, where they build their house in. They also have to use the same space as a compound and the same space where they can cultivate and grow something for food. And this land is not actually enough for them to do anything. So a creative society actually is talking about unifying people, for all these divisions, for what is making people to refuse with land, available land from fellows, to make it for people to come as one and live in one society. So to our refugees who's living in a remote area, may not find this space for the new technologies that are there to practice. However, this is a great idea. This is a new technology that is really great for us to get and to actually support the refugees so that they are able to produce their own food in the small space of land they have. So the issue of hunger is a reality. We have seen more funding being given for food distribution around the world, but as we talk, there are many who are not able to sustain life beyond 1 month as they wait for the next food ratio. And they have no other option and no any other land where they can farm. And hence, children remain malnourished, families remain hungry, they become traumatized, and for that reason, they go on drinking and going through a lot of psychosocial problem, mental problem, and hence reduce their life expectancy. So the issue of food is a reality, but if there are technologies that can help people to really develop their own food, grow their own food so that they don't suffer of hunger, then this is the world we need. We need this to be pushed down so that it's everywhere, it's accessible. This technology is able to be known by everyone and practice so that we can fight hunger, because it's a reality in a refugee settlement where we live. Thank you so much.
Steven, thank you so much. And I would like also to take this chance to thank you all for being the part of the solution, because you are the partners of Creative Society Project, and you contributed already so much to reach out with this information. And indeed, participants of Creative Society Project who already for many years, delivering this information to everyone, they already themselves who yesterday just, were in the safe place and had a stable life as they thought, and we all thought, they just became next day war refugees or climate refugees or eyewitnesses of climatic disasters or any other, situation like economic crisis that we are not prepared. And when we talk, for example, about these technologies that are already actually present, that's not something science fiction. This is already present here, but it's not available to everyone. But we need it in the nearest future to be implemented everywhere because the climate is just destroying the whole, usual life that we have. Like we observing how quickly it's changing, and we are not so quick to adapt because our attention is just put to business, to survival in everyday life, but we do not look what is coming actually tomorrow. And I would like to ask also, Sahib, how is your perspective on this question, on this issue, regarding the supply crisis, but also about the available, about the reaching the information to the people. So because, when people do not know that there is the solution, they basically do not have the choice. So we basically are offered only to talk about the worse and worse and crisis that is going to be bad. But what's about the solution, and what is the role of people in this solution?
مسؤوليتنا بتبدأ من
Our responsibility starts with ourselves. As Asta said,
كل شخص يقدر إن هو يبدأ بنفسه.
Every person can start
كل
with
شخص قادر إن هو يقدر يشتغل على نفسه ويقدر يقوم بإن هو يوفر بتوفير الأكل، بمساعدة المحتاجين، بإعادة تدوير الأكل وتدوير الشرب الخاص به. فبالتالي إذا قدرنا كل شخص قدر أو تمكن من هو يقوم بهذه العملية، فبالتالي هنقدر إن احنا نقوم بتوعية الناس من خلال المعاملة، من خلال المشاهدة، ليس فقط من خلال الإعلام أو من خلال السوشيال ميديا. بعض الناس لا يستطيعون الوصول على السوشيال ميديا، أو كما قلت مثل هذه الأخبار أو هذه المعلومات لا تعرض على التلفزيون أو نشرات الأخبار. لذلك الأساس هو نحن. إذا قمنا بالعمل على أنفسنا، إذا قمنا بممارسة هذه المعلومات الجيدة أو هذه السلوكيات الإيجابية في حياتنا، فإن ذلك سوف ينعكس على الآخرين. فكرة المجاعات أو فكرة توفير الأكل والشرب، لا أحد يقوم بتدمير نفسه سوى الإنسان وحده هو الذي يقوم بتدمير نفسه. فبالتالي إذا قدرنا إن احنا نقوم بترشيد استهلاك المياه، إذا قمنا بترشيد استهلاك الأكل والشرب، إذا قمنا بتوفير الأكل والشرب إلى المحتاجين، إذا قمنا بعمل ده حتى في أبسط الأمثلة أو في أبسط العادات اليومية، الأكلات اللي احنا بنقوم بأكلها بنرمي ما تبقى منها في القمام، بدلا من ذلك يمكننا أن نعطيها إلى المحتاجين. لذلك الفكرة الأساسية هي التوعية الخاصة بأنفسنا، ونمارس هذه العادات الإيجابية وهذه السلوكيات الإيجابية على أنفسنا من البداية، وذلك سوف ينعكس على
You make these choices and this will be reflected on others.
Yes, thank you very much. It is indeed our responsibility, and it was possible to present this information because thousands and thousands of people as you and me just made their choice to be the part of the solution, because they realized that the crisis that we have today, we have numbers of threats and struggles that we have already, and they can just, erase as civilization in the shortest time possible when we look at the real cause of climate disasters, of climate change, that is not also known to most of people. Then we understand that we want to live, and we understand that it is our choice to spread this information. And it was just a little piece of information that was presented today on one of the crises as we as humans struggle with. And when we stop just wars, for example, stop supporting this consumerist format where only 1% benefits of the 99% resources, and start informing people about the way out, about the human-worthy format of society, we will have enough to build the world without any crisis. But this tool will improve our lives if we will do something for it. So we saw enough evidence during the forum that, for example, there are such technologies as multi-complex sunrise that just make any corruption impossible. We saw the scientists that are able to predict the earthquakes, as in Japan, for example, in advance. And we saw the technologies that can build homes that refugees do not have, to sleep in these shelters that, are not suitable for people to live. And we saw also, technologies that can help to rescue and search for people after the disasters. PD, huge amount of opportunities for us people, but we do not hear about it from the news. And this is us who have to become this mass media, each of us. So, dear guest, I would like to ask you, what would be your message?
Can I think, where can this money, maybe some charity working for some stuff, what would help? Like if we would help for kids to understand, if you would put $5 each month to some charity, what child would pick. We already helping for children understand how important to look after others as well. No matter what you have to give it all money or something like that. But like the same time, it's a big problem of obesity. So why are we, it's a problem of the hunger and then problem in obesity. Where's this middle? Why are we always just going like that? So again, let's think, can we be healthy? Can we be strong? To be stronger, helping for others. And like I said, let's start from ourselves, for our family, embrace the charity works. And now actually I'm sitting and thinking, what charity fashion show maybe I can create to raise money to help, it's like starting already my brain working. As a minute ago, I didn't think about it. And that's what's happening when you're watching more and more programs, societies like this, joining the good jobs and something like this. It's making your brain work. What can I do? And I'm actually already full of ideas.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And we do everything possible. And thank you for being the example of how, it easy can everyone do. Just share this information on all the resources that you have. Is it website or social networks or any other way to inform people? Because we want the world where we do not need the charity at all, where everyone has enough on the plate, where everyone has a home, and where everyone has the opportunity to get the education where he or she can, learn more about their profession, their occupation that they want to do. So maybe we will have more scientists who will develop more amazing technologies that will improve our lives. So yes, thank you very much for sharing your understandings.
Thank you.
Yes, and I would like to add that as you, Asta, really correctly said, first we need to help ourselves and then we can help others. I fully agree with this. And I would like to conclude this to the spreading of information about creative society. In order to spread this information, first we need to kind of get familiar with it. We need to study it. And the best way for us to study this information and to really gain a deeper understanding is to directly participating in the projects. And there is a very valuable input already from you that you become partners of the global forum. That's an essential step. And by talking to the people, one gets a better picture about what he is or she is talking about, and in this way, kind of speaking in the language that the people understand, can bring very effectively this information to everyone. Yeah, and so I would also like to give the opportunity to Stefan, saying some last message to all of the people, or your understanding.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. We are really grateful for this initiative of Creative Society. When I first joined, I had questions in mind, but as I get to participate daily, and through the conference, especially the one that has just passed, we are getting really involved, and we are really getting convinced that this is the only way as humanity to be able to create a better world. So That's why through our social medias, we are sharing all the posts about from Creative Society. And we believe, of course, as you said, we need to understand first before we can be able to talk to other people. And we'll continue to learn and see how we can be able to share with so many young people who are around. The situation of Ukraine has really united us and brought us to the fact and the reality that humanity need to unite and put aside the division so that we can value life and human can live without fear, without all what we are facing in life. And it's a point that brings us all together to now see that it is others today, but tomorrow it might be me. And it is time that we work together as people to bring a solution. Because if we don't bring the solution, we will face it ourselves and individually. And when it comes to our door, we'll have nothing to do at that point. So it's time that we come together as humanity so that we can be able to spread this message. We can be able to rise up and initiate this into our government so that we have Creative Society running and effectively taking shape among us. So we are grateful to be part of this, and we'll continue to advocate, share with other people, and we hope that through this, many people will believe and will come to sharing this. What I would like to say is let's remove the fear as human, because what we fear may be how will we stand up and change the world we are in now. We see it as the bigger things, but let's remove fear. Let's move by faith. Let's move by action so that we can be able to change what is there. There's nothing impossible if we all come together as human and put an art and effort to change the world we want to see. Thank you so much.
This was great. And your message was so powerful. And it was so powerful because it is based on your experience, obviously. And this is very valuable. And I hope that our viewers appreciate this message as well. And you join us. So, because as we found out in the forum, we realized that nobody is safe from the consumerist format. And we urgently need to change it.
You know, we saw really shocking pictures during the forum. And sometimes people just think that we try to scare them. But this is the reality where already so many people on our planet see it and they experience it. So it's not a horror, you know, some movie. It's the reality that people already face. And Stephen, you as refugee know how it's just unprotected. How is it just to be unprotected in this society where the money rules? And we understand that we cannot let it go as it is. And our participants of Creative Society project in Ukraine, also in other countries, who are just in the middle of a war conflict, they still did everything to be able to present this information. They didn't give up. They continued to research, to make the interviews, to edit the videos so that everyone could get access to this information. So that's why if someone think that, like my voice is not changing anything, then just see how much we can do together, because we are not alone. We are here now from different countries. It's Germany, Ireland, Uganda, Egypt, Slovakia, and we have technical support from many, many other countries. And huge thank you for being with us today as well. We have amazing entrepreneurs in Arabic who just make it possible to communicate in different languages. And this is what people do from their heart, because they understand that we will not have any future if we just do nothing. It's not the action out of fear, it's the action, the motivation that we have all the chances to build a better world. Is there anything that you would like to add from your heart? Then you're welcome to share it.
I just would like to really point the biggest point at the moment as the same as we was talking about food, the same as we know money power. Power of money is so big. What we sometimes forgetting why do we make money? We make money to make easier and serve others and our own life. So my biggest belief, let's go back to love each other. Let's close the eyes, because sometimes we're looking at the skin color, which country, judging by the outside book. So my biggest point and biggest wish would like, before you talk with the person, before you judging the person, maybe we should just close their eye and just really ask for the heart and really say, how can I help you? How can I serve you? Can I somehow make your life easier and lighter? A little bit, just give a hug or just a smile. It's cost nothing. And that, I think, if we would make more loving each other or not thinking which side you are you on this side or you on this side? Which one are you my friend or you are my enemy? Let's don't think about it and just kind of really think, come back to love and ask, how can I serve you? No matter what side you are. Because if I will put number 6 between me and the person, what I'm talking with, and maybe a little bit arguing, the person will see number 9, I will be seeing number 6. And we're arguing about the same thing. But actually both of us right. Because they believe it's a 9, they see, and I believe it's a 6. So it's maybe every side is right by their own mind. So let's just say, okay, I hear you. How can we make that number good for both of us? So this is my biggest message. Let's go back to love. Let's believe in love. Let's go back to deepest, to innocent, about politics, colors, everything, what we didn't know when we was children. Let's go back to the childhood and loving each other how much we can. That's my message.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, just what I can say in brief is the time is running. For anyone who might be watching this for the first time, you're welcome on board. We need to get on this boat. The time is not on our side. We need to all get on board so that we can make this world a reality. So it begins with me and you, and we can get everyone on board. Please get on board so that we can change this beautiful world. Let us not live in a dream, but let us have it a reality in the life we are living now. So it's possible if you can join us. It's possible if you can inform the person next to you. It is possible if you can make effort and ensure that we all get on this boat and make this world a better place for all. Thank you so much.
Your words and into ear of everyone. Thank you, dear friends. Thank you for being part of the solution, for being people, because this forum, this initiative, Creative Society, this is the platform from people, for people. And every one of you who understands how serious the situation is, who understands that will await us soon. And if it is you, dear viewers, who can bring this message to the ones next to you. No one will do this job except ourselves, and no excuse will save your life, no comfort, no everyday problems. When you watch the forum Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live, then you will see that it's not a matter of if, it's the matter when the next disaster will come into your home and take the lives of your dear ones and so on. So, or the consumers format will do it sooner. You know, we have plenty of reasons to die in the war, in the next pandemics, in the fight for resources, or any other option that is likely to happen to you in the next years if we continue to do so. But we are people and we want to live. This is really an appeal to everyone. And we are tired to be a cannon fodder, a number, or enemies to each other. It's a shame that we still tolerate this format that is killing us and separating us and making us hate each other. We are the problem of the consumerist format, and we must say it. We must see the truth. This is ourselves, but this is also us. We are the ones who can solve it, who can change it. And remember that every day of inaction in the consumerist format just means missed opportunities, and you ruined the lives of people.
Yeah. It took millions of people to bring this information presented on the forum to you. Now it's up to you to make sure that this information reaches 8 billion people on the planet. You don't need to sacrifice your life. The only thing you need to do is to share this information with the people you know, or just anyone you meet. After all, everyone benefits from being a united civilization. Yes, we have never been in such a dangerous and threatful situation, but at the same time, we have enough resources, technological, scientific achievements, in order not only to find a solution for all the crises we are in now and survive the cataclysms, but to turn our planet into paradise. Yet first, we need to inform everyone and share the forum, because no one will remain the same after he or she will learn this information. Please share your video feedbacks on the forum with us, with everyone, and send them to info@creativesociety.com. We also invite you to take part in the international discussions like this and share your impressions and insights after watching the forum.
Yes, and we have a choice. We have a choice either to die and remaining selfish and divided, or we learn to care for each other, as our respected speakers shared their understandings and vital insights to us today. So if we learn to live in peace and mutual respect as one humanity, we can always survive if we unite, and then we will win. Thank you, dear friends.
Thank you very much.